Welcome to Hit Save on That. I'm Wendy Rivera, and this is a time together where we're going to dive into some important truths that you want to take with you the rest of your life. The reason it's called Hit Save on That is because that is a practice that is important for us all to do throughout all of our life, and that is to intentionally hit save, intentionally record and retain the things that are positive learning experiences for us. So let's dive in together to a subject today that you might have heard before, and that is that you are the sum total of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That is an interesting thing that's talked about a lot in the whole world. Let's talk about why it's true and in what ways you can apply it to your life in a positive way. So the success that is in your life, or the lack thereof, both are connected to your own choices. That might seem like an obvious thing, but one of the choices that might not seem so obvious is who you decide to be around the majority of the time. Who do you spend your time with? Who do you come alongside? And maybe it's someone that you're just trying to help all the time, or that you think you're a good influence on them. You're the positive voice in their life, but you're choosing to spend time with certain people. Who are those people? How are they affecting your life? Let's talk about high performers. Let's talk about people who are very successful in their arena. If you're watching, let's say, a professional sports situation, and you're watching a high performer, and they are amazing. Let's take Steph Curry in basketball. He is the best three-point shooter of all time. His shooting is incredible. People come early to games just to watch him do his magical warm-up routine that he does, where he's shooting impossible shots, and somehow they're going in. Shots from the stands and shots from almost where you're going into the tunnel outside of the arena, and he's making these shots. It's incredible to watch. You're watching a master at work at what he does. The amount of reps and practice and overcoming that he has done in his life is literally legendary, and it always will be. He will be known for all of the things that he overcame and how he has developed this lightning fast and lightning accurate shot. But when he's doing that, if you, as the observer, are observing wrong things or are taking away from that wrong things, your life will still not be affected in positive ways in your own decisions. So your success is in your hands. So let's talk about how to observe high performers. Why is it important that you watch on purpose, intentionally, have strong takeaways from people that you want to have the same mastery of that craft? They have a mastery of that craft. You want to have the same mastery of that craft. Maybe it's the way they live their life. Maybe it's the relationships that are close to them. Maybe it is a job that they're able to do. Whatever it is, they have mastery of it, which, by the way, can be deceiving to some people, because when someone who is a master at something, they make it look easy. And that can be deceiving to an observer who does not realize what it takes to achieve that level of success. So if you're an observer and you're watching someone do incredible things and they make it look so easy, you need to, on purpose, hit save on the fact that it's not easy. It didn't come just by magic. They didn't roll out of bed and suddenly were the master of that craft. It didn't come because they just were naturally gifted and there is no effort that they actually have to put in. And any of the things that come to mind inside the mind of someone who tends to view a high performer in a jealous way, in a threatening way, in a way that makes them feel less than, their thoughts will start to mount in those arenas. It will be a negative bent to how they perceive someone's success. You're trying to shoot the ball and you're not doing a great job at it, let's say, and somebody comes next to you and starts shooting over and over and over, and you say things like, well, the wind wasn't blowing when you were shooting, or, well, that ball is probably a bit more of a correct ball than the one I'm using, or I tell you, I've just had such issues with my elbow. It just doesn't go, as straight as some people's. It's just, I can't do it. Or my shoulder's been hurting, or my pinky toenail is hurting, or like, you're going to come up with every excuse as to why you're not performing as well as the other person. That's insecurity. That's self-focus. And as you are so focused on all of the limitations or issues or struggles in your own life as to why you can't overcome and be successful, while you're focused there, I will tell you what you're missing out on. You're missing out on purpose observations of the other person who is a master at what they're doing. You're missing out on learning that you could be doing that could build your life. So you actually end up not wanting to be, if you've got this mindset of negativity towards someone who's a high performer, then you actually don't want to be around them. If you are around them, you're going to constantly feed your thoughts into negative things about them. You're going to assume negative either motivations or, again, like favoritism that somehow the universe has piled on them as to why they're successful and you're not. It's that mindset of I'm a victim. I've not been given enough. I don't have as many opportunities. I've got these issues holding me back. That narrative is going to become so large in front of your eyes that you will be blinded to see the things that could help bring you forward. So it's really important as an observer who wants to grow and be successful that you go towards high performers. If there's someone who has strong relationships in their life, if there's someone who, I can think of people right now in my life that are goals on the wall for me. I think about those people a lot. I think about what they do and why they do it and how they do it. Because I want to focus my mind and my eyes on the goals that I want to go towards. If I'm watching how they overcome, if I'm honest about what their life is, I will see there are so many difficult things they bear, and you never know it. Because just like as good as Steph Curry shoots, it's not that wasn't a difficult defense for him to overcome. It was the most difficult defender that he just schooled. He looked like he did it easily. It looks like it just happens. Well, that must not be a very good defender. No, it's the wrong conclusion. That was the best defender in the world, and he went past them. That is the mastery that is important to do. That is when you believe nothing can stop you. And that's what I see in people who choose joy. I know people who are bright spots of light and sun and joy and hope in my life. And if you look at the details of their life, it's some of the people who, it's some of the details that would be impossible for other people to overcome. They can be the hardest situations, the most painful relational dynamics, the most difficult physical struggles, things that have been done to them that would derail and devoice people of lesser character, and that have derailed and devoiced other people. And yet this person comes into the room and is the strongest and most others-minded and full of joy. Those people are the goals on the wall for me. I do not want to believe ever that the things that have happened in my life are somehow so uniquely difficult that I am the largest victim in the planet and poor me. And it's actually attached to pride when we think that way. Because what we're saying is, I'm so amazing. I am so amazing that if it weren't for everyone else or everything else or all the things that have happened to me, if it weren't for that, I would be the best at everything. If you believe that narrative, then what action can you take? I'll fill in the blank for you. If you believe that narrative, the action that you need to take is to try to take anything that everyone else has, push them down, and elevate yourself. Sadly, have seen this with teams before, where people who are not being as successful as other people, they'll sit back and they will decide to try to tear down and criticize or even mock people who are being successful in the team, in the job that they're supposed to be doing. They will berate them. They will denigrate them. They will gossip about them. They will criticize anything and everything they can. It doesn't matter how strong that person is and successful at what the exact same thing that this person's supposed to be successful at. That is very threatening to the person who is watching in some sort of jealous way. And what is sad about it is it takes from them. It doesn't actually take from the successful person. It takes from them. Because when you are wired to either see or fabricate false and negative things about other people, what it does is it literally fabricates it within you. So the truth about observing a high performer is whatever you intentionally observe, whatever you consciously observe, you will unconsciously absorb. What does that mean? If you go through something difficult in your life, a struggle, a hardship, a pain, you had no control over that happening to you, let's say. You were put in a very difficult and maybe unfair position. What you consciously observe about that situation, what you are on purpose taking away as positive takeaways, let's say, you are going to unconsciously absorb those positive things and take them with you. But in the negative space, if you are looking for the negative to either excuse yourself or to blame someone else, or to minimize someone else's successes, and try to protect this mindset in yourself that you are the most amazing person on the planet, and this, you're not going to look at any failures that you've done because you can't countenance it, but it's everyone else's problem, or all of these problems are too large. Whatever you are consciously observing about what's going on around you, all of that negative that you are consciously seeking to see, consciously seeking to communicate to the world as well, wanting others to see those negative things, that focus does not build you. It unconsciously absorbs into you, and it becomes the truth of your life. You then will have everything that's difficult. You will have everything that's impossible. You will have everything that's negative, and anyone who is in your life, you will see as a problem for your forward motion. They will be that because that's what you see them as. But observing even negative situations to say, what can I learn from this? What can I take away as a positive forward motion takeaway? I am consciously observing. In other words, intentionally finding the good, the strong. When someone else is good at something, how can I celebrate what they are good at? When someone else does something and it seems like it's so natural to them, I'm going to actually assume that was years of overcoming and choosing to learn to master something, to have a mastery of something that other people have not done. I want to watch that, and I want to say, good job. That's amazing. You've overcome so much. How you do that with joy is such an inspiration to me. How you do that with confidence when everything in your life should have stripped you of your confidence. Look at you, how confident you are. When I say everything in your life, I'm talking about situations where other people might have been critical of you, or maybe it's someone who has a physical handicap in their life. And instead of having it be the excuse as to why they can't do something, instead they have turned into the world champion of something. You've seen all those inspirational stories. Why are they inspirational? Because those people decided not to let the handicap define them. They started letting the things that they can do define them. They're focused on the things that they can do. And when you focus on the things that you can do, your can do expands. Your ability expands because you're consciously observing the things that are positive and forward and strong about others and then about you. And because of that focus, you will unconsciously absorb. And unconsciously might not be the exact word, but it's what I want to tell you is on the negative side, I can tell you you're not trying to absorb into you to be a part of your nature, a negative nature. In fact, many people who are negative, if you were to say to them, man, that's kind of negative, they would say, no, I just have a clear view of what the world is. They don't believe they are negative. Someone who is positive believes they are positive. Hear me well. Someone who is positive is being positive on purpose. So they believe they are positive because it is choices that they are making. And it's not pie in the sky. It's truths that they're taking away. And those truths affect the next step in their life. And the strength that they see in others that they applaud and want to emulate absorbs into their life. And they start becoming those things even better. They'll break down what other people are doing in a positive way and go, why is that working? Okay, so I did X, Y, Z and that worked well. Why did that work well? What am I taking away from every situation so that I can carry it with me, so that I can hit save on that? I'm going to delete the things that tried to take from me. I'm going to delete the things that were negative, that were trying to take me down and destroy me. I'm going to delete those from my mind because the things I want to save are the positive things, the learning things, the things that build my confidence, the thing that makes me more prepared for the next challenge. That is what I'm going to hold on to. I don't want to remember the stories of the pain. I don't want to rehearse them. I don't want to keep talking about them because then I will absorb them deeper into who I am and into the path. I want to understand them. I want to have processed them enough to understand them for one purpose, to take away the lessons with me and hit save on those lessons so that I'll be better prepared when I face that kind of person, that kind of situation, that kind of struggle in the future. I will be more calm and steady and feet grounded because I have consciously observed the things that will build my life. But when it becomes threatening to you to be around high performers, when you are jealous of them, when you are trying to take away any of the glory of that success and make it less than, you haven't hurt them. You have weakened yourself. You have weakened yourself while trying to proclaim that you are strong. Being strong is not about proclaiming that you are strong. It's about doing the right actions that make you strong. It's the difference between the armchair quarterback and the NFL champion quarterback. The difference is one sits and is blowing a lot of hot air. The other is up and doing. And the one who is up and doing, when they watch someone who's another good quarterback, they go, props. What a good move. Oh, that's so hard. Why? They're in the field. They know what it's like. They know what it is to overcome those struggles and what makes that skill so hard. High performers love being around other high performers. It inspires them. It encourages them. It excites them. They see good and they're like, that is good. That's somebody who is threatened by a high performer. If it makes you feel less than, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if it makes you feel where you start looking in and go, why can't I have that? Why don't I have that success? And it's a feel bad for yourself question. Then you feeling bad for yourself is what your whole body receives. It absorbs that. And it says we should feel bad for ourselves. It's not fair. Life's not fair. Their success means my failure. You can ask the same question with a different expression and it means something totally different. The same question is, why don't I have that? And the next question is, what am I not doing that they are doing? I'm going to change what I'm doing to be more like what they are doing. I'm going to change the choices I'm making, the mindset that I have, and I'm going to adopt that mindset. I'm going to take that activity and I'm going to go towards that person. And somebody who is trying to talk to you to convince you that they are a victim, I will tell you it does not help them for you to sit and agree and empathize and try to comfort them. Comfort does not help the person who believes they are a victim. All it does is validate them in their mind and pull you into the same circle. I just watched this with a team, people who are super nice. And in our stylist training, we talk about 3 different kinds of stylists, right? You have the car salesman, which is like the controlling, the manipulative, the pushy, the salesy stylist. And then you have the stylist who is the nice stylist, is what we call it, which the nickname is the doormat. And you just let everybody just walk all over you, and you're just the slave under their feet being stomped on and told what to do and unappreciated and unseen and you have no control in how the appointment goes. And then there is the empowering stylist, the one who knows who she is, the one who understands her job is to lead, the one who knows that a bride is going to come in with a lot of miseducation or lacking education on what this whole process is. She's searching. She's full of fears. She has family with her, and all those family dynamics can be very tricky. You understand that she might like something on paper, but when she gets gowns on, those certain things could change for sure. You understand that she has questions that she doesn't even know how to ask. You understand that she wants to have a life moment, and she doesn't know how to even imagine what that will feel like because she hasn't felt it before in this way. You have done so much preparation, and you know how to be sensitive and speak into things and lead the appointment so that the bride is protected and empowered and encouraged and listened to and valued. You know how to create safe spaces, and you know how to speak into dangerous spaces to make them safe. You are a leader. That is the empowering stylist that we're wanting to be. So if, as a stylist, you're watching another stylist be successful, and in your mind, you are undermining all of the success that this other successful stylist is having, and you are excusing away your own failure and minimizing the success that they just had, it is not a fluke to be the mastery, to have mastery in being a bridal stylist. It's not a fluke. It's not a certain kind of water that the brides are drinking in that area. It's not, oh, they just happen to get the best brides. They just always get the best brides with the best families and the best budgets, and brides who just know what they want, and brides who have moms that just love them. And it's just, how do they always get the best brides? Someone said to me one time, in fact, it was when Gabe and I went through one of the hardest seasons of our life, which was in our first year of marriage, when we lost our first baby. Our first baby, Savannah, was stillborn. And someone was watching us walk through that time of our life. It was in the week of losing her and then having her funeral. And after watching that, coming out on the other side of that, someone said to me, this was someone close to me. They said, I just don't know how you and Gabe are handling this the way that you are, because you've lived such a charmed life. And that comment really showed me that this person, although they were in proximity close to me, had not observed truthfully my life. I don't believe good things about brides because I get all the good brides. I don't believe the things about love and leadership because I've never had someone who didn't love me, or I've never had people who were difficult to deal with relationally. The things I believe about love and leadership were learned through absolutely running through a very difficult, constant gauntlet and choosing to take the strong things away, the good things with me, to hit save on what others were doing that was positive and good and helpful, to hear truths that applied to my life and deciding to absorb them, think about them, chew on them, talk about them with my friends, talk about those truths so that they stay with me deeply. Because the things that I consciously observe, I'm going to unconsciously absorb, and unconsciously meaning I'm going to absorb them in ways that I don't even fully realize. I'm going to work to realize it as much as I can, but there are going to be ways that I will absorb it in ways I don't even realize. That's exciting. That's positive. That's strong. It's training your muscles to accomplish difficult things. And when your muscles are trained to accomplish difficult things, there are things you haven't even tried before that your muscles will be able to accomplish. That's the unconscious help that those muscles will be able to be with you in those moments. The same things mentally, the same things emotionally, and the same things spiritually. The beautiful thing about your life is that you get to choose what you observe and therefore what you absorb. We get to choose. Stop believing that you don't have a choice. Stop believing and telling yourself the things as to why you're not successful, because they're not true. Unless they are in the arena of something that you can then take action to overcome, they're not true. If you're believing things that say, well, I just can't, then all that will exist in your life are the things that you just can't. those things will grow. Those things will become impossible. And that's all that will exist. That's all you will see. You're programming yourself to see that, to absorb that, to believe that, and then to live that. It becomes your identity. And you're holding on to something that is an anchor that is going to drown you. It is drowning you. And the only comfort you're finding is to see how many people can drown with you. The opposite is also true in the positive. Look for, hold tightly to, swim with people who are swimming against the current. Keep your eyes on them. Keep them in your sights. Notice how they're kicking. Notice how they're stroking. Notice how they're breathing. Notice how they're pacing themselves, and emulate it. I think it is incredibly powerful when I think of the people that are the goals on the wall for me, how early some of them came into my life. I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional here, but I'm so thankful because they taught me by my watching them be different, watching them be positive, watching them be hopeful and full of warmth and love. And I'm like, I want that. How are they doing that? What are they doing? Oh my goodness, I love how that feels when they do that. And I hit save on it. And those things absorb into my life and they strengthen and empower me. And so I'm so absolutely thankful for those life preservers, for those skills that were taught. And I find in my life, if I continue to see strengths in others and say the strengths that they have, celebrate the strengths, celebrate their wins, acknowledge how they got there and acknowledge their journey, and love watching their choices and their mindset and their operation. And I look at myself and I go, man, why am I not doing that? Why? That's a success that I want to have in my life. How do I have that success? I want to learn how to do that. So I want to be around them. I want to watch it. I want to analyze the tapes. I want to rewatch it. And then I'm going to go try it. And I'm going to go try it. And I'm going to go try it. And I'm going to go put it into practice because I can do strong things. I can do stronger things than I ever imagined 5 years ago. Relationally, in leadership, because I'm wanting to learn with every experience, not pile up this pile of further proof of why I can't. I want to find further ways of why I can. So let's together go towards high performers. If you feel less than around a high performer, how does that feel inside you? Are you feeling like, oh, well, that just makes me feel like I'm not very good when they're so good at something? Their being good at something has zero to do with you being good at something. It's not a game of comparison in this world. It is a wonderful opportunity of learning in this world. If somebody's negative in your life, how much time are you choosing to have that access into your life and pour into your life? If you can't get away from that person, let's say maybe you're in high school and maybe the negative person is a parent and you can't get away from that person. You're with them all the time. Then I want you to get a journal and I want you to write what you would do or say that is positive. Write down what you could do or say if you were in that position. Don't focus on what they are doing that you don't like. Focus on what they are, what this situation was, what they said, what they did, that you're like, man, if they saw it this way, that would help them. Or if they would have said it this way, that would have been more effective. Or when I'm in that situation, I want to remember XYZ. I want to remember to do this or think this or say this when I'm in that position. It's the positive focus of a negative experience that allows you to build muscles of strength. It builds your life. And then if there is a high performer around you, do not ignorantly bask in that sunlight. Don't just float down the lazy river and enjoy the current that they are providing you. Look at how they create a current. Look at the environment. How do they create it? What are the key things to it? What are the things they are doing on purpose to provide this environment? Because I want to know so that I can help provide that environment, or when I'm in a position of leadership, I'm going to be ready to provide that environment, because this is healthy for everyone around me and for myself. Creating safe spaces for yourself and others is what is the most beautiful thing you could do in this world. Create safe spaces. All of us have been through struggles. All of us have been through difficult things. What do we choose to do with it? Is it the thing that defines why we fail, or is it the thing that defines why we succeed? Same difficulties, different results. Because what you consciously observe and consciously consciously observe, you're trying to find a certain thing. Either it's to excuse the reason why you're failing, or it's to inform how you can succeed. Did you hear me? It is either to excuse why you're failing or to inform how you succeed. What you are consciously observing is what you will unconsciously absorb. You will absorb it in ways that you don't even know. One continues to buoy you forward. That is not a charmed life. That is a chosen path. It's not a charmed life. It is a chosen path. And that is the good news. It's the good news. There's always someone out there that has it harder than you. Always. Stop trying to win the award for hardest life, because all that does is ensure that you, in your little world, will, one, keep your world little so that you can be the one with the hardest life, and make sure that everyone in your little realm stays in that mud with you. And for those of you who want to grow, look for the high performers, hold them tightly, appreciate them, and consciously see what they are doing to build that. Don't think, well, they just naturally happy. No, they are choosing strong, true thoughts and choosing to focus on what they can do. Observe. Observe people that are negative. Observe people that are positive. Observe people that seem to have been given everything, and observe people who've been given nothing and are successful. And look for reasons why they have been successful, because what you look for is what you will absorb. It becomes who you are. It's so important. All right. Hit save on that. Hopefully it helps you, not just this week, but for the rest of your life. See other people's strengths, celebrate other people's successes, and those strengths and those successes will be more clear in your own life when you do that. Let's do it together. All right, hit save on that. I'll see you next week.